Hello everyone, welcome to this week's edition of the Foolish Fish News. There are some weeks that are a little bit slower and some weeks where everything happens at the same time, and I've got a lot of really good stuff for you this week. I hope you're going to agree. We're starting off with Scott Gosnell's Kickstarter of Giordano Bruno's On the Shadow of Ideas. Now, De Umbris Idea, I think, is the original Latin title. And Scott Gosnell actually translated all of the works of Giordano Bruno, and they're all available on Amazon. You can find them as paperbacks. And actually, I believe that in this particular Kickstarter, those paperbacks are going to be available as well. Or rather, they already are available as well as a complete boxed set, which is really nice. Scott Gosnell actually reached out to me. I think it was actually on the same day as Black Letter Press reached out to me asking me if it would be a good idea to have a Kickstarter. And, I let them both know of each other's intentions. But these are two very different Kickstarters. Black Letter Press's Kickstarter was for De Magia, so on Magick by Giordano Bruno. And this Kickstarter is going to be for the first of the series of the entire works, which is On the Shadow of Ideas. So this the Kickstarter itself is fascinating to read, but a lot of people like to see pictures in Kickstarters, which is possibly going to work against Scott Gosnell here. However, when we actually look at what is being offered here, a scholar's edition with a hand-numbered edition. We're looking at deep indigo blue Asahi Shantung silk book cloth, gold foil stamping front and spine, offset printed on Mohawk superfine acid-free paper, Smith sewn book blocks, twin book ribbons, custom end papers. It would have been great to have some kind of mock-up, right? Some kind of idea of what the final product is going to look like, but that does actually sound really, really nice. What else do we have here? There's also going to be a deluxe hardcover version. So just to give you an idea, this De Umbris Idearum is actually it is Giordano Bruno's work on the palace of the mind. So how to the art of memory, we've got it right there. How to build a palace in your mind where you can store things to easily memorize and things like this. It's a fascinating and beautiful work, and hopefully this. Let's have a look at the details of the deluxe hardcover there. Gold foil stamping, hardbound in white Argentinian leather, hand marbled end papers, Mohawk superfine acid-free paper, Smith sewn silk reading ribbon encased in custom clamshell case stamped in gold foil. I'm sure that's going to be a very, very beautiful thing. So that's point number one today. There are actually quite a few Kickstarters that you're going to see throughout the video today. This is a second point of order today. Is the Book of the Black Dragon. As you know, Atramentus Press announced that they'll be making a second edition of the Book of the Black Dragon. The first one sold out very fast, and second-hand editions are going for very, very high prices, and so they've decided to make available a second edition in blue this time. So the first edition was in red, and we knew already that it was going to be this way, but this is the first that we're getting to see of the finished product, and it seems that the publishing date is 4th of October, so not very long left to wait. You can still order it if you're interested. Staying with Atramentus Press, we've also got some pictures of Lilith, Gender and Demonology by Stephanie Spotto. Again, just some gorgeous, gorgeous cover work there. Atramentus Press's book covers always blow my mind. They're so, so beautiful. And this is no exception. Moving on to Troy Books with the Canticles of Lilith, and we have 4 different editions. So the paperback edition, which you can see there, the standard hardback edition for just £29. Troy Books' special editions are really so affordable. It always really surprises me. The special edition there for £36, and the fine edition for considerably more money. But you can see there that it's a very different type of binding, and it seems that that's only really available for people who are subscribed to their mailing list. But links are down below to subscribe to that mailing list. Which regularly comes out and produces or gives subscribers options to buy some really beautiful fine editions of their latest books. You will probably already know whether you're interested in this book on Lilith or not. There we go. Moving on to another Kickstarter. So this one's very interesting. It's Interlinear Magick, an anthology of the Greek magical papyri. The Greek magical papyri was already published a couple of decades ago, I believe. And this is a selection of the rituals that are contained inside, with a modern translation, with a new translation that's informed by all of the research that's been made on the PGM, the Greek magical papyri, since that first edition. It looks really interesting. It looks really nice. It seems that it is already funded by a long way. There's talk of stretch goals for many different additional spells. So depending on what levels we reach here, the additional hymns and spells and so on and so forth going forward. And this is from Theon Publishing. We know that the Cult of the Black Cube, a Saturnian grimoire, is getting a second edition, and it seems that is almost being fulfilled. So just Wednesday of next week, the shipping is going to be able to start. You can pre-order, of course, your copy at Theon Publishing. I think there are still some copies left, but expect those to go very, very fast. The Cult of the Black Cube, I believe, was one of their most successful titles. Moving on to a little book that I just found out about, The Magick of Fortuna. And this is just available on Kindle or in paperback. Sometimes you get these books on Amazon. I'm not always happy with the quality of the contents of many of these, but I've had a quick look through this one. It looks really nice. It looks really really approachable, really workable, and I would say that just the whole process was really well thought through, and it's early days yet for me to be able to say whether I strongly recommend this or not, but I can say that it looks really nice. There are 4 books in this series. He's called them the Grecian Magick series. I think this is the 4th book in this series, which is why he had already called it the Grecian Magick series, Fortuna being a Roman goddess, I believe. But we've already got Aphrodite and Hermes and Apollo in this series, and they are just really nice rituals, really simple, don't require lots of setup, quite internal focused, and yeah, I'm always all for that. So yeah, if you need a little bit of money magic in your life for to get hold of some of the books that I show you on a weekly basis, then yeah, this might be the way ahead. And now Anathema Publishing have announced the Serpernt Ikons. Now this is going to be released in the second quarter of 2022, so quite a long time in the future. However, it's great to know already that this is what they're working on. And yeah, there's a little description there of what it's all about. They're going to be the major arcana, so it's going to be a card deck and a book together, and the card deck is going to be the major arcana of the Tarot of Marseille, but subverted in some way. So very much, it seems very much a left-hand path approach to tarot, and well, knowing Anathema and their requirement for quality, I think that this is going to be fantastic. And if there's a book accompanying it, yeah, I think that can be a really, really nice offering. Still with Anathema Publishing, I've noticed that yeah, they are now making re-available some of those beautiful bits of jewellery from AzK, and yeah, you can see some of them right here. They're just absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, some of them looking quite frightening, some of them looking quite beautiful, or in fact all of them looking quite beautiful. Really nice to see the Saturn's fragment returning here. Yeah, very, very beautiful witch thorns. Gorgeous, gorgeous stuff. Yep, I'll let you discover those in the links down below as usual. All right, now this one is another Kickstarter, yet another Kickstarter. I told you there were a few Kickstarters today. Enūma Eliš, that's 100% certain that that's the wrong pronunciation. The Babylonian Epic of Creation, and this is a new translation of it and a new edition, a letterpress edition of it. Probably the most beautiful way you can probably own this oldest of creation epics. I think that this looks like an absolutely gorgeous object. There we go. By No Reply is the name of the publisher here, and I think that $85 for a letterpressed book. Yeah, you don't often get that, and you can see that you're getting the cuneiform as well as the translation, which is, I think, is fantastic. I think it's just brilliant. This is for a bundle for Enūma Eliš plus a first edition, which I believe is out of is well, at least mostly out of stock or out of print. But yeah, $85 is the actual pledge here for the book itself. Very beautiful. And yet another Kickstarter, and now we're moving away from books and we're starting to look at a little bit of the paraphernalia here. We've got the Lost Tarot, an exquisite medieval themed 78 card tarot. I don't often show the many tarot decks that appear on Kickstarter on this news video, but sometimes there's something particularly beautiful. This is, again, I also don't usually like tarot decks that feature photography. I don't know why, it just feels wrong to me. But these ones are absolutely gorgeous. Really, really, really beautiful creations. Yes. It feels a little bit like the equivalent of the pre-Raphaelite movement, looking back to medieval times with the technology of the present day, right? So there we are. Isn't that gorgeous? Really, really beautiful stuff. Moving on to Tommie Kelly's project, which which he announced on Facebook just a couple of days ago. He has made available this 5-year bundle. So 5 years ago, Tommie Kelly made available the 40 Servants, which I've talked about previously in this news video series. And you can now pay what you want until Halloween, I guess, or at least for a short period of time. I don't know if there's a set limit of time, but it's for Halloween and for this 5th anniversary. And yeah, you can pay what you want for the entire digital bundle. Obviously, you won't be receiving an actual deck of cards or anything, but you will be getting a printable digital deck, as well as pretty much everything else that he's ever produced, from those cards to artwork to the many comics that he's written and illustrated, and as well as music. So lots and lots and lots of good stuff there. 3 gigabytes worth of stuff. It's a huge amount of stuff, and yeah. I think that's a really beautiful gift that he's making for us, to make sure that we are paying what we can afford, basically. And I would say that it's important to remember that Tommie Kelly is he's not a major corporation, and it probably wouldn't be fair to pay €0 if you can in fact afford more. I think that paying what you think this is worth is the right way to go ahead here, and what you can afford as well, right? Which is quite cool. Moving on to this very cool thing that I saw on Lon Milo Duquette's Facebook page. So he's recently come under quite difficult times. He was sent. How to say this? He was no longer allowed to live in his house. His landlord basically kicked him out for whatever reason, and he and his wife Constance had to move, which was quite difficult for them, and he gave his desk to a friend of his, who told him, just sign it and I'll put it up on eBay and I'll split the proceeds with you. So this is what his signed desk is currently going for. If you want to purchase the desk on which Lon Milo Duquette has basically written all of his books, then you can do so for the meager price of $377 at the moment. There are a few days left, 3 days left at the time of recording this. Probably by the time most of you are watching this, it'll be probably 2 or 1 or even the last day. But hopefully some of you will be interested in this. There he is, the man himself, signing the desk and giving you an idea also maybe of the size of the object. Looks. I think that was a really sweet thing. And then finally, my board game of the week. I didn't have a board game of the week last week, and actually it's been quite a while since I've seen a board game that's really excited me, but this one looks just really, really nice. It's it seems to be just up my street, up my street actually. So it's called Khora, Rise of an Empire, and it seems to be based in ancient Greece. And the idea is to make your city, your Greek city, the most powerful, the most successful of the Greek cities. And it's played with a number of progression tracks, and plays 2 to 4 players. I think 75 minutes, which is for me absolutely ideal. So under an hour and a half, and I Actually, I really like progression track games. I played a game called the Lost Ruins of Arnak. I've been playing this with my wife since Christmas, and it's just one of the most satisfying things. Just getting better and better, and and increasing how much it costs for people to come and visit you. Well, that's kind of the Monopoly mechanic there, but let's say Monopoly done well, if you can imagine such a thing. This this actually seems really very exciting. Maybe something for you to check out. It doesn't look very exciting, but having checked out the rule book, having checked out the gameplay, it does actually look like a really engaging game. So that's my game for the week. Thank you ever so much for watching. Please don't forget that leaving a thumbs up really helps me incredibly, and subscribing as well. If you haven't subscribed already, do consider clicking that subscribe button and the little bell button as well, to make sure that you get to see my videos on your front page of YouTube, right? Rather than having to go into your subscription page, which nobody ever does, of course. Yeah, thank you so much for your time, and see you very, very soon with another video. Take care of yourselves. See you soon. Bye bye.